What's up?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Look, I was like, oh snap. Am I doing this right?
Oh yeah. I just got your text. So I was like, yeah, we probably should have. I should have explained. That was just mine. Eventually, so what I'm gonna do is starting in September. September is gonna be like the official launch of the Ink Therapy Instagram. I'm just waiting on more followers so that it's not just like a random page. Uh,
Okay, yeah.
all of the videos on there. So I'm super excited. But yes, you're at the right page. You're at the right place at the right time. I'm super excited.
Let me can you hear me well? I'm trying to
I
figure out if I should use my AirPods or not.
I can hear you perfectly fine. But if you want to use the AirPods, you can. Your volume is fine now.
No, it's cool. I know sometimes like the speaker be weird or whatever.
For sure. What
But
about you? Can hear me fine?
yeah, I'm cool.
Okay.
It's funny that you were saying that you were like September or whenever you said it was gonna be like the launch.
Yeah.
Um, like I've been watching, like, like
Yay!
yo, like. I mean, okay. Let me like. You ever like find like a podcast or like a YouTube page or something that you like? Yo, they did this for me.
Yeah.
I feel kind of guilty because I'm like, yo, this not for regular people. Like this is like somebody went out and made a whole piece of content just for
Yeah.
like
No,
like
no, it's
I feel
so
like
like
it's specifically for me. Like,
I love that. 100% I love that. But I think that most of the artists who I've interviewed had the same type of vibe, right? The same type of like investment in their work, the same type of energy. And that's all I'm about is like exchange of energy. If it's not good energy, I'm not for it. And I 100% agree with like this speaks to my soul. I didn't know it was gonna to this, honestly. Like this, I did this because for selfish reasons, right? Like tattooing, talking about tattooing, my niche. That's my thing. Calming to me, it's therapy to me. And so I was like, well, why not share that, with viewers? And the response I've gotten is so crazy. It's like
yeah,
it's am- I'm so glad that you feel that way.
I'm sorry. I'm just going. I'm like reposting it right now just to get it
No,
out.
that's fine.
But
I always give people a
um,
little like log on because like right now we have about like 12 viewers. So I always give people to log on. So it's no rush at all. Like the theme here is chill. I got a drink. I'm in my
look,
room.
boom,
I'm
look,
here.
white wine out of a red cup, yo.
I love it. And that's honest. I was talking, I've done this interview with a couple of artists, including Roger. And
Hmm.
you're very well acquainted with Roger Perea. You did that awesome interview with him. I think it was Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that soon. I'm so excited to talk about that.
Man, yeah,
But so
that was
like Roger,
interesting.
like that's it's supposed to feel like family. It's supposed to feel like friends. It's supposed to feel like home and a safe space. So like when we all finally get together after coronavirus is all done or whatever, I want us to have
Hmm.
like round table type discussion with all of us there, drinks, chilling, smoking, whatever we need to do to vibe out and just be us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cause like I watch some of like the little bit of like tattoo related content out there, and it
Mm-hmm.
seems like even like how I was like, yo, I feel like this is for like me or like people like me or whatever.
Right.
It seems like sometimes it's like too industry ish.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Where like the average person doesn't necessarily get stuff from it, but like listening to this, it's kind of like it's funny because it's kind of like the first like one or two I watched. I don't remember who the first person I watched was because
Mhm.
I didn't see them in any particular order. I would just like
Okay.
randomly pick on one, like pick one. But it's
Yeah.
kind of like the first one I was like, damn, I must have lucked up and got like a good one.
Honestly, I'm blessed. All of them have been amazing. Like, my first one was with Matt Stebley, who's like a fucking legendary tattoo artist. What runs amazing ass convention in Biloxi, Mississippi. My second one was, I think it was my second one. Oh yeah, second one was Roger Frias, epic legend, you know, no brainer. My third one was Angel Rose. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just been climbing and climbing. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have an awesome circle of tattoo artist friends, and honestly, just like the vibe, like I'm saying, like because we're honest with each other, we're open. It's no sort of like, you know, suit and tie, blue collar ass interview. Like we're chilling.
Yeah.
Ended up like these are my folks, these are my family. Um, I think that's what you're seeing, right? It's like the genuine vibe that you get even at 100. They're telling you the worst experience that they've had and the best, when you know how tattooing has saved their lives, but they're also telling you how it saved their pockets. You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love 100%.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I don't know, I don't want to take you off
No, I
course,
love. I'm all about
but
the
I just
grind.
had to say that, cause like yo, I just be locked in, and it's kind of like they're not short, but they're not like when it's dope. It seems like you're like, oh, it's about to end. Like,
So that's what I'm saying. I'm so open to feedback, Gabe. So like really anytime, like after we're done with this, I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about like things that I can not only improve on, but like the timing as well. Like I'm doing 30 minutes because I feel like that's enough for people to like listen to on a drive, you know what I'm saying? Or watch when
hmm
you're getting ready to go out tonight or whatever. But what I'm thinking about as far as like the roundtable discussion, I'm thinking that might be an hour. You know, if there's gonna be six of us there, it might be two
yeah,
hours. You know, like we're gonna be talking about some really serious stuff. So it's like we're gonna need the time and space to do that as well. So timing is always something that I'm attempting to improve on. So any notes that you have, we can definitely go down that
nah,
path.
man. I mean, I look. I'm like, yo, like, does she do this? Does she interview for a living or something?
Oh,
Like,
look,
yeah,
I
I don't got nothing.
know.
I'm like, yo, I don't want to mess it up. Like, I hope, like,
Not even. So for those of you who are watching, Dave and I have been in communication for a little while now about this interview, and we were just the other day talking about whether or not we should like talk before, because like we're both in Atlanta, we know of each other, but we are not necessarily like what as well acquainted as I am with a lot of other artists who I've interviewed. So
yeah,
he was being the wonderful gentleman that he is and saying like, hey, do we need to do anything before this? I'm like, no, not necessarily, unless it's something that you need. I was like, I actually prefer to do a cold turkey because I feel like that's when
yeah.
you get the
You
most.
know, because me and Roger have done a couple lives at this point,
Yeah,
and we'll do like a little like production like
right.
pre-check, right? And it'll end up being like I don't want to say more interesting, but
Yeah,
like,
it might be. It is.
I
When
mean, you know what I'm saying?
oh,
Like we'll get it, like we'll like in just a couple minutes, we'll just hit like a couple dope bases, and then it's like the official like lights come on or whatever, and then
exactly.
it's
But
yeah,
I think
so
along with a lot of I guess like podcasts or like reality TV these days is it's too planned. Like I think the
hmm
beauty is seeing, for viewers especially, seeing the relationship develop. I think
yeah,
that's a super cool thing. Um and because I also think that the relationship is developing with viewers as well, if that makes any sense. Like people who have never
yeah.
been
I mean,
not,
it seems like
not
authentic, like when it's just happening when it's happening.
yeah, and that's exactly what the viewers are experiencing because they don't necessarily, unless they've been tattooed by you multiple times, they don't necessarily know you like that. So the
Yeah,
reaction that I might be having, they can identify, or the reaction you might be having with something I say, they might be able to identify. I think that's just the most beautiful thing. Um, and this is all about relationships, community in a way to, heal. That's
hmm
the basis of Ink. I'm super excited for. We're about to jump into it already.
they playing Jane. But
You
yeah,
ready?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, let me stop. Let me stop. Like you know,
We got
interrupting
plenty
and
of time for
distracting.
that. So the first thing I want to start off with is it's evident that you do amazing work. What I want to know a little bit more
Don't
about
do that.
is the name. Danger sound like a superhero, a villain, maybe. Where'd that come from?
Um, man, it's a long, boring story.
Oh no,
Um,
not a boring one. It can't be boring. Your name's Danger
I've
Day.
been told that, like, I'm gonna tell you the real story, and I'm
Okay.
gonna just say it, preface it by saying, like, I've been told by somebody to be like, yo, don't tell nobody that. Like,
Okay. Well, thank you for the preface. Now we're ready to be let down. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
but like way back in the like early days of me at like West End West End Tattoo, it's like one
Mm-hmm.
of the shops I started at here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I used to just like I used to be on one some days.
Yeah. Somebody said because he's dangerous with a tattoo. Absolutely love it.
Hey, but yeah, like like I'm one of those people who like I'm liable to say anything type people.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the owner of the shop, Red. I feel like he said it first. I feel like he was like, "Oh,
Okay.
Danger Dave."
Love it.
um,
It was kind of bestowed upon you. The title was just bestowed. You were
yeah,
knighted.
like I feel like it was just like I don't even know that he knows that he said it.
Okay.
Like he probably just casually like, "All right, here we go again, Danger Dave." Like you know what I'm saying? Like he might not even know this story.
Yeah.
And then it was like back in like the Twitter finger days, it like just became like my like I just was like yo like maybe just so happened that right around that time I like started Twitter and it was like yo what's
And
on
you
my
was going
Twitter name
off,
was
I'm sure. You was
like
going
Danger
off.
Dave like boom like I've deleted tweets so don't go back to look.
Oh,
um
God.
but yeah and then like Instagram came along and it
Love it.
just
Love it.
switched that app from Twitter to like Instagram and that was that.
So were you like bullying people on Twitter? Were you judging art?
Oh no. I mean it's not like danger like that. It's danger like um
Not to be played with.
yeah, like danger more like mentally, like not like crazy, but like in the way that like words can be powerful danger.
That's real.
Not like I'm a
That's
threat to society danger. Like
I love that. I love that.
I
Words
mean,
of
I don't want to disappoint anybody. Don't run up on me though. Don't try me. But
they know better than that. Atlanta is I mean, let's just top cities not to play with. Atlanta is like number one. Sorry.
so
Anyone else
yeah.
who's not here. I absolutely love that. I think that I can definitely see that implication of, the words are intentional, danger with like how you carry yourself with such purpose, but then also the art aspect, right? Like, I think that the work you do is fucking dangerous. That shit is
Yeah,
crazy.
because trust me, there have been plenty of times where I was like, man, should I change it? Like, maybe I should do something more professional. I was like, nah, man, fuck that shit, yo.
It's perfect. And I
Like I like the like juxtaposition of that that vibe. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Like, like
We, somebody said Michael Jordan.
it's like that. Like, yo, ain't sweet over here, yo. Like, we
You're
ain't
right.
doing
Period. That's
like
it. That's it. Yeah. Michael Jackson, dangerous. Somebody said in here. We got Bang in here. What's up? That's what's up. Awesome. So, okay. So we talked a little bit about just the name, but I'm interested in knowing a little bit more about your tattoo journey. Like, how did you get started? How long have you been tattooing? What brought you to this part of art?
yeah, man, like I'm here to keep it 1,000.
That's all we do.
Um, like I honestly don't know how long I've been tattooing. Like
Okay.
it's like 12 years maybe.
Love it.
Like I started in North Carolina, Durham, Bull City.
Shout out to
um,
Durham.
Yeah, yeah. And then like, I took some time off. Like I chilled. I went to school. Like hop back in it. And I honestly hopped back in with like no real intention on like being here right now. Like I
Wow.
was just like, yo, I just need a job. Like I had stopped tattooing to like really my goal was to like, yo, I'm gonna find something real to do because like nobody around me felt like they were like, yo, you still doing that tattoo stuff, yo? Like,
You playing
yeah.
around with some colors?
I was 100% playing around with it. Like I wasn't taking it seriously either. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, then it's kind of like when I got back into it
Yeah.
after I'd been in school, I feel like my vision was different. Like I was like, yo, I could see this
Mm-hmm.
kind of being something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not because I saw it. Like I had always had like a vision of like, yo, tattooing can be more than what it is that I'm seeing
Period.
right now. Like,
Period.
but it's like when you tell people that, that's like the equivalent of like, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper one day, yo, I'm gonna blow
Exactly.
up.
They're like, yeah, I'm gonna be
Like,
doing it.
yeah, yeah, they're like, yeah, yeah, good luck with that, yo. Stay in
But it's
school
a
though.
funny thing though that people are so quick to doubt. I don't know what that is. Is that, do you think that's like a human, like, just, is that like a natural, like, human characteristic? Like, that need to doubt? Is it a safety thing, right? Like, I think about, like, humans automatically are, like, instinctually doing stuff. Like, okay, I'm thirsty, so I'm gonna go get a cup of water. But when it comes to,
Mhm.
like, stuff that's more emotional and mental, like doubt or fear, does that come from like us protecting ourselves, or does it come from like literally a place of hate? Because me, in my mind, ideally, if I were to hear you say that, like, oh, I'm about to be a bomb ass artist, I'm about to do this and that and the third, I'm about to be like, yeah, okay, what do we got to do to get that started? As opposed to being like, yeah, good luck with that, bro. It's like, where's that
Um,
from?
like Romy Rome just said something dope. He said people like to play it safe, and
Oh,
like that's like some real shit. Because I feel like people project
yeah,
however they like, what I'm saying, like just whatever works for them,
it's projection.
they put it out on you, and not even in like a malicious way, like not even
Right.
in the way of like, yo, I'm trying to tear him down. They just like,
Sometimes
look,
it's the most honest way, right? Like I genuinely
yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
like I used to talk to my dad, and I'd be like, "Yo, like this tattoo thing could work, maybe." Like, and he was like, "Man, maybe you should get your real estate license or something." Like,
Definitely. I
and
remember getting my first tattoos, right? Like my first large pieces, and having conversations with my family about that. Not even like, I still have a regular job during this time, but just me adorning my body in these large pieces, my family was scared to the point where some people were like, "Oh, you really want to put that on your body?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've thought about it for a long time, and it's happening, and I'm doing it." So like, but I love exactly what you said, and Romy Rome said. Like at the end of the day, they're going to project whatever they're going through onto you. And then he said, plus
yeah,
the tattoo industry is definitely more accepted and popular now. So if it's something people never really seen, then they easily doubt. That's real.
yeah, and I mean, like again, what he's saying is kind of real because it's kind of like I feel like this is like the lane that I'm trying to go in is like a newer lane.
Mm,
Like it's not like there's a there are people before me. Let me
right.
not. I'm not saying that like, yo, like I'll craft this new path. Like there are 100% people before me, but it's not like a herd.
Mm-hmm.
Just and I'm just speaking specifically to like my vision. I'm not saying like the industry as a whole. I'm just saying to my particular vision.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where I see things going, and like I just feel like there's not like a lot of people there yet. So it's kind of like it just feels like new frontier ish sometimes.
Definitely, 100%.
Um,
Going off of that, we do have a question that we're going to address in just 1 second. But going off of what you're saying, as far as like what you're doing is new. Like you're very humble to say that, like that you're not the only person who's doing it, but like a lot of your work. If you have not seen Danger Dave's work, I want you to leave the live right now and come right back. But go to his page and look at the shit that he's doing. Literally, I want you like tell us a little bit about your style because like I can't say that it's just black and gray. You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm.
I mean, it is black and gray, obviously, right? It's black and gray.
Yeah.
Like that's what you
At its
dominate.
core, it's
Right.
black and
It's
gray.
right at its core, it's black and gray. But tell me a little bit more about where that inspiration. How would you describe your style?
And I don't want to like, I don't want to start getting too technical.
Okay, but
Um,
let's
I
say
want to keep
people.
it like normal for like regular people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like just the way I like self-proclaim it in my head, it's like black and gray. I would never say realism. I would say
Mm.
like sculpture is,
Ooh.
you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like I'm a big like everything I do, not everything I do creatively, but just as it pertains to tattoos, like I'm like fascinated with like how light hits off of stuff.
Yes.
So it's like when you think about like sculpture, like there's no value painted on the sculpture. It's either solid black, solid white, solid bronze, solid whatever. So it's like you can really see how light impacts it when it hits it.
100%.
And that's kind of what I like to focus on creatively. And just, I mean, it's more to it than that, but that's like
No, I
at
love the way
the
you describe it.
essential of how I like process visually.
Yeah, you may have just founded a new category, like sculpture. That's I love the way you describe it because I definitely can identify with that when I'm looking at it. I'm like that. It's realism, but it definitely looks like it has those properties that sculpts or sculptures rather like absorb when they're being displayed in museums and the way the light hits it and reflects off this side of the face as opposed to this. It's a difference between the realism. I absolutely love it. It's phenomenal. One of the questions that we had in the chat said, what's the best advice that you can give an aspiring tattoo artist who's also a starving artist without regard for COVID, because COVID is it's a weird time right now, y'all. It's a weird time. We all broke.
Man, I don't, you know what? Because it's kind of like me and Roger have been doing like seminars. I mean, we're not like currently doing seminars, but we've done like two or three.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's kind of like I think one thing it taught me is that like everybody has a different agenda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like I have an agenda and it guides my like why and like it's like my motivation for like what I do when I wake up in the morning and like when I go to work and boom
Mm-hmm.
bow. But it's like everybody got a different agenda. Some people just want to take care of their family.
Right.
Some people are like, yo, like this is a 9 to 5. When I go to
Mm-hmm.
work, that's
Mm-hmm.
my work. Some
Mm-hmm.
people are like obsessed
Mm-hmm.
with the craft of the act of tattooing and just like the machinery and how it goes in the skin and like being
Mm-hmm.
a tattoo artist. No shade, just like
No
um,
tattoo
no,
artist.
yeah. I mean, but I mean that's the thing. Like some people just like being a tattoo artist.
No, that's right.
Um,
I had a conversation with somebody the other day about the fact that some of the tattoo artists that I know are just bomb ass tracers. They're not artists. They could just trace the fuck out of something, you know?
I mean, and I'm not. I don't want to take like tracing is a craft
It
too.
is
Like tracing is not
at a
easy.
different level than
It's the
expressing.
100% levels, and I got
Yeah.
like my homie Aaron. Um,
Yeah.
he like yo, you ain't no real tattoo nigga if you
Mm,
don't draw everything.
mm.
Like it don't he don't care if it's a portrait. He like
Right.
yo,
You need to draw.
if you ain't
remake
drawing from scratch, yo, yo, you bugging. Like, you want some other stuff.
stencil, the shit like
Um,
stencil.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, bro, like it's a portrait, bro. What you
Yeah,
want
no,
to do?
there's definitely levels. There's different. I mean, that's how it is in any sort of like worldly, organization, anything, right? There's different compartments. There's different. If you want to think it on like a different ecosystems and stuff. There's what whatever you do, like you are part of a broader community, right? So that we need
Yeah,
all
for sure.
people. We need the people who are just doing lettering. We need the people who are just bomb ass tracers. We need the people who are doing portraits just off the top of the dome, like we need
Yeah. All that. I mean, just to, and just to get back to the question,
mm-hmm.
everybody has a different agenda. I think if you're a new artist in the game, you just need to figure out what your agenda is.
Exactly.
Like, yo, what do you want to do? If it's the money, that's cool. Just approach it that way. If it's you want to make an impact, that's cool. Just need to approach it that way. If it's just something you're doing till you figure out what you're doing, like that's cool too. Just whatever it is, you just need to
Right.
figure out like yo, why are you doing this? Because
So
if you
what I'm hearing from you, it kind of sounds like you're saying just like sit in the struggle a little, right?
say that one more time.
It sounds like you're saying sit in the struggle a little bit. Like the person was asking about like what do you do as an aspiring tattoo artist, but also a starving artist. And the what the advice I hear you giving is choose your lane, like whatever you
Yeah,
want to do.
just you just gotta ask yourself like, yo, why am I doing this?
Mm,
Because it's kind of like I'll see like a new artist sometimes, and they're like, and I mean, this could be anything. Like people just like, yo, I'm just,
yeah,
like it's cool, but like if something better comes along, like they out,
yeah,
and that's cool.
definitely.
That just is what it is. But it's just kind of like if it's kind of like I know a lot of people don't believe in this, but
Point.
it's like this idea of like no plan B.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like yo, like you get to the island and you kick the boat and you're like, I'm here.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and like a lot of people like that, like safety net type vibe. But it's kind of like as long as you feel like there's a door that can
Mm-hmm,
get you out, like
mm-hmm.
that mentally kind of can prevent you from uh really going all in.
Definitely, definitely.
Um, and I mean, I think that's just the mentality for anything. I don't even care if you're doing wrong. I don't care if you're selling drugs. Like, yo, like go all in. You know what
Committed.
I'm saying? I don't care if you a nurse. Like, yo,
Yeah,
I don't
for
know what the nurse vibes are, but
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Like, just that idea of like, yo, if you want to do it, do it.
That's
And if that's not your energy, just know that in yourself. So you don't even pretend like, yo, I want to be like that guy, or that guy, or that guy. It's like, no, they
mhm.
all in. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
if you're not there, then don't even like, you know what I'm
Don't
saying?
up. Yeah.
Like,
With that comes
yo,
back asking you, what is the reason you do it? Why are you doing this?
I mean, like I was saying before, I feel like, um, I feel like I feel like we in like the early stages of tattooing for the black community. I'm
Mm,
not gonna say the whole entire industry. I would just say like this particular community.
yeah,
Like I feel like we haven't scratched the surface.
great.
I feel like it's gonna be a whole gang of like black. I'm not even gonna say black. I'm gonna say people who tattoo dark skin,
Okay.
millionaires.
Yeah,
Um, and
yeah,
I'm not saying that on no flex. I'm saying that with 100%
yeah.
like yo,
This,
this is a thing. If there was
yeah,
stock, I would be buying stock in that right now to be like, yo, like trust me, this is going to hit. Like there's no scenario in which this doesn't like go to whole new levels. Cause I feel like just like I feel like um, like I feel like we haven't even like created what this community or this energy is right now.
Yeah, or what it could be.
Um,
For
I
sure.
feel like the Asian. I don't even know if that's appropriate to say
Mm-hmm.
anymore. But like they got they lane and they style.
Yeah.
You got like the Polynesian
Mm-hmm.
lane slash style, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like they not even white people. They like
Yeah.
they darker skinned people too, and they got like a whole entire niche
That's
just for them. Now I
in
don't
Chicago.
know that.
We have so many different styles but so many of them do not speak to people who look like me and you. You know?
Yeah, look, um, like I don't know. I don't even want to say this because it's gonna come out wrong.
You
But
know,
like,
look, ain't nobody is judging you. Anyone who comes in here and judges Dave, they can come see me.
I mean, not like judging. I just don't want to like get. I don't want to get canceled, and I don't want your show to get canceled.
I
But
get you,
like,
but see, I'm
but
not.
like, like I feel like, um, I feel like just as a culture, like we got so much to offer,
Mm,
just creatively and just substantively and like just all of it. Like it's like the stuff I do is just a tip of like the iceberg of like what's out there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's an artist, rap artist, Jadena,
Mm,
and I remember I was watching like The Breakfast Club, and
mm.
he was like, "Yeah, I just got this tattoo," and and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what this looks like."
And who did it?
I don't know. Yeah, of course. Like, who did it? Like, and he
What?
shows it, and it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with
Yeah,
Jadena,
I know what you're talking about exactly.
Classic Man. He just dropped the album like
Yeah,
95 South to Africa, and this was his
yeah,
promo run, right?
yeah,
For his album called 95 South to Africa.
yeah.
And he like, yeah, I just got this sleeve, and he like shows it, and it's like a Polynesian sleeve.
Yes, it is.
And I'm like, yo, you just dropped the album called
Yes, it
95
is.
South to Africa.
Yeah.
And you got a full Polynesian sleeve. Like,
And
no
Fahad.
shade to Polynesian, because I love Polynesian. I'm inspired by it, and it, like, influences what I do. It's not necessarily that. It's just saying that, like, he didn't even feel like there was something strong enough that spoke to him and his
Yeah.
culture that he needed to go to a different culture
Right,
to,
but not in
like,
tattoos. That's the thing. That's what I was about to say. Is Bahama?
you said not in what?
Is that it's only in tattoos, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
the
for
artist
sure.
I was
Only in tattoos, because he in everything else. But
have
it's
you
just
seen his
like
album
in this
art?
one thing, you
Yeah,
went to a whole nother side of the world.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To like feel that need that you get this sleeve of like a whole different
Because
culture.
that, and maybe it's because he felt like that was the closest thing to his culture that he could get. But at the end of the day, that's so disappointing. You're settled, you know?
I mean, okay, don't get it twisted. If this was anybody else,
Yeah,
hey, cool, you just fuck with Polynesian.
yeah,
This dude, literally, he's on the promo run for an album called 95 South
yeah,
to Africa. I'm messing it up.
yeah.
But something along those lines.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And
Yeah,
it's like in the process of putting together this album, he gets a Polynesian sleeve.
right. And for his photo shoot for the album, he had this whole like barber chair that was decorating like all sorts of African tribal prints and just gold adorned him, and like everything was so pro black. And then the tattoo.
Yeah,
It
and I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure the tattoo is amazing, and I'm
it's
not
gorgeous
even.
and
And
it's very
really, what I'm saying isn't anything against him. It's
right.
really me speaking to like the lack of like information
Yeah,
and like visibility
that's
for
what it is.
this small thing that's brewing up
That's
under the ocean, kind of. You know what I'm
that's
saying? Like yo, like I mean, just think about it.
out there.
Think about it like this. Like at one point, like the music industry was like maybe just rock and roll or something,
Yeah.
or like folk music, country music. I don't know, like
I,
whatever it was,
look,
what I'm just trying to say is like whatever it was before was black people in music.
right.
You know what I'm saying? They were like, yo, this the industry. Like, yo, we killing it. Like Elvis, Rolling Stones, whatever. And then
True.
like
But once again, the
money,
issue
then
you said they didn't
yeah, and
do it.
then
That,
like all of a sudden like yo, like man, should we let niggas in
right.
this?
But the funny thing is, we were doing that before them, Dave. We was doing it before them, which is exactly the same situation with tattooing. Tattooing is a ancient art. And
Yeah,
and
I ain't even touched on that yet, but
right, like
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. We've been doing it before that, but a different group of people, and I won't get specific into who the people is, but a different group of people found ways to turn that into a money making industry, and then it lost its value, right? So we're still over here trying to practice that ancient art that we've been doing since millions and millions and millions of years ago, and or hundreds of years ago, whatever. Don't get me technical on that. I'm not a history person.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel where you're coming from.
We've been doing it, and y'all find some way to pimp it out to make a quick dollar, and it loses its value. So then people like who we've been talking about, like Jadena, any other artists who are getting tattooed by these people who don't know the
It's
history,
wine, bro.
it waters it down. So one of the
Yeah, and I mean even 50 Cent.
mm,
What album was that? Was it Get Rich or Die Trying? I don't know, but he had like one of the illest tattoos, like,
oh, with
and
his shirt on,
yeah, he had his
stuff,
back
yeah,
piece. Mr. Cartoon did his back piece. I don't know if you're familiar, but like he was
yeah,
like
of
one of
course,
the people that inspired me, cause I was around during that era, and I was like, yo, he like the illest, and he was tattooing like all the rappers, and he was like, he doing like a West Coast, like a West Coast, SoCal type black
right,
and gray style, killing it.
yeah,
But that was the style that was the representation of the culture.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, really, it's like Chicano SoCal.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? But his style was like the like representation of what tattoos look like at its peak for the
right,
culture. You know
right.
what I'm saying? And again, nothing against him. He wanted to go Godfather, all that. But it was just kind of like yo, like, all right, when are we going to speak for our own culture?
Preach. That's what it is.
I mean, if and it's kind of like like I tell people all the time, it's kind of like this modern era of like tattooing isn't necessarily ours. Like
Mm,
most of the artists that are black that came from like the 90s to the early 2000s to like even now are like completely inspired and influenced by like non-black artists that came before them.
mm, mm.
It's kind of like the industry is like fucking NASCAR. It's about as
Yeah.
white as NASCAR. Like I'm just keep it a buck. And
No,
there's nothing wrong with that. It just
no,
is what it
no.
is.
Everything is wrong with that, Dave. I'm gonna
I
sound
mean,
the
I'm
good
just saying
side.
because
Don't
like
be
I mean, but think
everything
about
wrong.
it. But just keep it in the context of like this is a cultural thing,
Exactly.
like music pre Motown, pre
Preach.
Muddy Waters or whatever.
Yes.
It's just like yo, it
Yes.
was a little white. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, so I'm just coming from that standpoint of like all the forefathers in this industry are white.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like if you were ambitious coming up, everything that inspired you was done on white skin and by somebody that didn't look like you, that had a whole nother agenda. So
Mm.
it's kind of like the way I just think about it is like, yo, and I'm not getting into racial shit. I'm just gonna say like,
Yeah. No, we're just
how
we're
would
saying that.
we approach
Of
tattooing
course.
if we never saw tattoos on white people.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like how would our vision be? Like, there, even like we
Yeah.
doing this whole like Insta live about like tattoos on dark skinned people,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's kind of like dark is like don't don't check me on my like vocabulary, but like dark is like an adjective in the sense of
Mm,
like that means there's something lighter than it.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
Connotations with it,
dark.
right?
It's darker than.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like just imagine if we just never saw like, and I mean, and I know that's not possible, but what I'm just saying is like that's my mental state.
Right.
Like
So what
I'm
was
not comparing it to like, oh, how would this look
mm-hmm.
on a lighter skinned person? I'm looking at the person and I'm saying, what is the best case scenario for that person?
Mm,
Not like how this would be so much doper if it was on somebody later. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. All I
mm,
care about is like what's the best case scenario for the person that's in front of me.
that's real. That's real.
You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like it's like we've been indoctrinated to look at tattoos through the lens of how they look
Yeah,
on a completely different skin tone.
definitely.
Even people that look like me, like first and foremost, because that's just what's out there. That's what's on the internet. That's like when you go through those like random explore pages, and it's like
That has been said as the exemplar version of what
yeah, that
could be
is
aspiring.
literally
And that doesn't make
like
sense. We can never do that. We can never do that. I can't I mean, unless we do some weird type of skin bleaching thing, like that's just not something I could ever get to, you know?
yeah, and I mean, like I said, it just is what it is. It's kind of like if if we were in Africa and like we were the majority skin tone, then it would be
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, like
This
damn,
is
like
not
white people. Like I don't know about these tattoos on white people, yo. Like,
oh weird. I don't know what they're doing now.
yeah, like yo, like I don't
I
know,
get
bro.
it.
Like it looked kind of crazy, and that's just like
100%.
I'm
And I
just
think
kind of like letting go of the idea of like this modern tattoo industry wasn't made for us.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
that's perfectly fine because that's just is what it is. But I'm just approaching it like, what if we approached it
Yeah.
for us?
Yeah.
And I'm just speaking to like people that look like me because I tattoo everybody, and I'm not gonna like not tattoo people from a certain culture. But I also feel like 98.9% of the industry on the higher levels
Mm.
are dedicated to a different skin tone.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't give a fuck if I'm here to be like, yo, no, I'm riding the flag
Mm-hmm. I get you.
for this particular skin tone. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I
why
don't
I'm
like.
here.
It's like
I'm
everybody else
everybody
riding for them. It don't. I mean, and it's not even a black or white thing because really, like, it's almost like a pop artist. Like
mm-hmm.
even like the really good tattoo artists that are black still look at like tattooing is like, yo, I haven't made it until I've crossed over
Right.
to tattooing non-black people. And
Definitely.
that's coming, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about black people who are like, yo, I can't say I made it until I'm doing the best work
Right.
on on white people because that's been established as like the pinnacle of
Exactly.
like creativity on skin. And
And
I'm like,
it should be.
I got into an argument with a friend of mine. I'm not going to say this person's name because it might make them look bad.
You're so
But like they were like yeah, I don't even remember what we were talking about. I wish I fucking knew, but like tattoos just look so much better on white people.
mm,
And I was
out.
like, yo, like tattoos just look different. You know what I'm saying? Like
Look, I'm
I
about to
wouldn't
get
say better or worse. No, no,
good.
look. Now peep game. So like this was like years ago.
Yeah.
This is before like, what I'm saying? Like it's a whole different version of me speaking.
Right.
They're like, yo, like tattoos just look better on white people. And I'm like, okay. I don't agree with that. And they're like, nah, they do. Like, whoop de whoop whoop. And there's this whole debate. And I'm like, nah, they just different. They can be just as good on black people
Yeah.
and people with darker skin tones.
Right.
It's just different.
You just have to know
Um,
how to do it. You have to know how to execute it. That's it. And it's honestly like I feel like a lot of artists get upset with me because I'm not a tattoo artist, but because I have a science background and because I have such a passion for tattoos, I've done a lot of research in both. Like there is a way to execute it in a way where it will look amazing. And it depends on, the size needles that you're using. If if you're choosing a lighter color pigment ink or a darker, like all of those things matter. And you
now
have to
look,
have
look.
knowledge in order
That's not the end
to
of.
execute it.
That's not the end of the story.
Oh,
Look, Dexter
it got
DK
worse.
said that. Look, Dexter DK said that's cap. So look, like I said, that was a whole different version of me that was like, nah, fuck that, man. Like tattoos can look just as good on black people. It's just whoop de whoop, whatever.
Okay.
So now I make this grand gesture, and I'm like, nah, fuck that, whoop de whoop whoop. Um, tattoos look just good as black people, like,
Right.
and I'm like, yo, like that's at that point, that's my statement of purpose.
Yeah.
Um,
And your intentions.
like shit, man, we might have been in Europe having this conversation. For
Mm,
real, for real. And then I'm come back to like tattoo, right?
mm.
So then it's like I'm like, all right, like I'm tattooing black people. And I'm like, yo, now I gotta live up to that.
Truly.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I
You
said it.
talked all that. You
I
talked
said it. I talked all that shit. Like I was talking hot shit.
Now
And
we want
then,
to
then I
see.
get
We want
then
to
I
see.
get challenged like right off the bat. Like, yo, okay. Are you wanna
Right.
do what? Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Mm,
Hmm.
that's what we do.
But I'm like, nah, like, okay. But then that just saying that, having that whole discussion, it kind of changed my whole mindset. Cause
Yeah.
it's like now I gotta live up to that. So now I'm going in like, all right, what do I have to do to make sure that that's still true every
Yeah.
day?
Every day.
Every day. Like no, like
Mm,
I'm not trying to take no shorts.
yeah.
Like I don't post every tattoo I do, but
Mm,
I would like to feel like I could and
yeah.
not feel like, oh, like yo, I don't know about that last one, fam.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like at this point, like when people come to me, like they're expecting something.
Mm.
So it's kind of like
Excellence.
I'm aware of that, and
They're
I
expecting
don't.
excellence.
I'm not like. All right, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you look like.
Yeah.
This is what you're coming expecting, and my
Mm-hmm.
agenda is to deliver that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of I'm just keeping it 100. Like a lot of black tattoo artists feel like, yo, not even black, but just a lot of tattoo artists in general just like are waiting for this perfect person to come in.
Yeah.
They like, oh, a perfect person, perfect
The
skin,
ideal skin type.
the ideal skin type. And look, not only the ideal skin type, but the ideal like idea. And they're like,
Yeah.
yo, like they doing this joint, and I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna kill it. And it's kind of like I feel like everybody wants that, even if they don't know how to get there. So it's kind
Right.
of like it's like I'm the professional, so it's like my job is to like give people the information to like, yo, how can you get to like an amazing piece of
Mm,
body art? You
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like the average person don't know, like they don't do this. It's kind of like if you went to the movies and were like, all right, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna watch the movie, but I gotta know how to make a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? Like that's not what people do. Like you just
For
like, yo, I want to go to movies. I want to be entertained.
sure.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, so I feel like when people come to get tattooed, it's like my job to like inform. Because like I said, this is still a new thing.
Definitely.
for people that look like us. So it's kind of like my job is to like show you like, all right, this is what we can do to get to something, to the best case scenario for you.
Definitely.
Because I'm also like, I also get tattooed. Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I get tattooed with my friends, but I also want to get tattooed by people I don't know. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I've been that person on the other side of it. Like, all right, you want what? Oh, okay.
So do
Um,
you prefer to have the autonomy to, use your creative vision and create these new original pieces, or do you prefer for people to be like, hey, this is what I want, what can you do with
I mean, I wish I could tell you what the ideal situation is,
it?
because it's kind of like, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot with this, but it's kind of like every situation is unique. Like I can't even prejudge it at this point.
Mm,
Like yeah, I love when like clients come in and they're like, "Look, I got a
whatever
lot
you
of money, and not only whatever you want, but just like yo, I have a perfect plan."
okay,
Because that's just not how it goes.
right.
Like sometimes it goes like that, and then sometimes like
It does.
I'm a regret saying this. But sometimes a difficult client can push me somewhere that I never
Mm,
would have went.
mm. No,
I'm
that's
like I
true.
said, I'm gonna regret saying that
No,
because I feel like people are like, oh
that's
shit, I'm gonna give him
human.
smoke now.
That, and that's what
But
I mean
like,
when y'all come on here, humanizing you. You're a human, so there's things that are going to tick you off. There's things you don't like, and that's okay. Just because you provide a service does not mean that you have to be this mannequin and service provider and just yes sir, yes ma'am. No, like you have things that irritate you. You have things that you're not willing to tattoo. You have things you're not willing to do. There's things you are willing to do. There's buttons that can be pressed that will take you over the edge, that will stir your emotions in some way. So no, keep it a buck. Definitely 100%.
ah, yo, like that's literally
Yeah.
like somebody even when somebody gives me an idea that is generically bad,
Hmm.
like I'll literally take a moment and I'll just be like, let me think this through.
Hmm.
Is this impossible?
Yeah.
Is this possible? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll think about it because it's like, and I mean, let me give some perspective.
Hmm.
So it's like, I don't, like, like, literally every tattoo I've done for like the past 3 years maybe has been created on the spot.
Okay.
So I don't do any I mean, people send me what they get, but what they
Of course.
ideas, but I don't do any like pre-consultation. Like the consultation happens the same day.
Right.
People tell me what they want, I create it, and then we do it.
Right. So
Um,
you're looking for like a preview or a sketch of what you're gonna do. That's not your thing. You want it
that's
to come.
not my thing.
Love it. Okay. Good to know.
Um, I guess it's a question out there that somebody wants addressed.
I think we addressed it. It was just
Like, okay, if
yeah,
it hasn't been addressed, just throw it back out there.
yeah. No, we
But
addressed it. It was just if you prefer to have autonomy around your work or not. So we addressed it.
okay, because it's like so it's like I feel like I'm real like in the moment type. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like whatever happens in that moment happens.
Right.
Um, I feel like some like I said, like this is some new shit. I don't like to push my agenda off on people either. So
Beautiful.
I feel like, excuse me, people like I can feel people's energy when they come in and when they're right in my face. I can
Mm-hmm.
understand what they're trying to say better
Mm-hmm.
than when like I'm just reading the email or like because it's like I create the design in front of people
Mm.
for the most part. So it's kind of like I don't. It's not much lost in translation because I can always just be like, all right, so is this the direction or is this
Right.
not? I feel like if I just am in my cave and I just create something for people, that it's just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
like oh, like I'm sure some people will be like, oh, okay, you did that, like that's dope.
Yeah.
But even if a handful of people are like, nah, that's not it. And then too, like, I'm not trying to go off on a tangent. I'm gonna just say that like Um, like there'll be times where I'm 100% sure
Mm-hmm.
that I know where somebody wants to go with their tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I meet them and I talk to them, I'm like, yo, this is something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And they might be using the same words.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they might be saying exactly the same thing they said. It might not even be that they're. It just might just be the way that they communicated that I can feel it, or I can like question certain things. I'm like, okay, so
Yeah.
this is what you're trying to do.
Right.
And like, yeah, that's it. I didn't know how to say it, or I didn't know if that was it. And it's like, boom, because like my goal is just to get people to their best case scenario
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For sure.
every time, for
I
better
think
or for worse.
speaking of best case, we just had somebody in the chat ask. Uh, Basically, they've been tattooing for 6 years, and they want to know if they don't, if they or they think they can pull it off, should they attempt it or
Should
should
they ask what question?
so if they've been tattooing for 6 years, he says, me as a tattoo artist, if I get a piece I think I can't pull off because I've only been doing it for 6 years, should I keep doing that and saying no, I can't do this, or should he attempt it? Just to go, my personal opinion is no, don't attempt it until you are sure that you can execute it the right way. But Dave, do you have, what do you think?
I mean, I think that goes back to like what's your agenda?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like I like doing different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like I like somebody like I did like a Asian style tattoo the other day. Like I like when people throw something at me that's
Yeah.
like oh shit,
That's
okay, I
new.
ain't never done this before. I still like that
Yeah.
feeling. And I mean, I like doing stuff in my lane too, but it's just kind of like I just whatever it is, even if it's different, I want to bring me into that.
Truly.
Um, but tattoos are forever.
Yeah. So keep
So
that,
like,
because if you
if
really gonna
you
screw somebody up,
if you end up in some waters that you like, yo, because I'm gonna be real. Like I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. Like
yeah,
tattoos are like even me. Tattoos are hella stressful.
yeah.
Like hella stressful. Like I'm sure my blood pressure would be like somewhere
Mm-hmm.
crazy on a daily basis. Just
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of like when you are like trying to achieve something,
Yeah.
like that's like it's some stressful shit because it's not easy. And then honestly, when it feels easy, it feel like you're not like I'm not pushing myself hard enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it just feels like yo, this was a jump shot. Like even like some people who come in and they're like, yo, I just want this. I know exactly what I want. I don't know how I want it, and like sometimes I'll think to myself like, man, I could be out of here in no time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We have
But
1 minute. We have 1 minute left. This has been
oh
a
shit.
great conversation. And only because Instagram is cutting me off. I cannot wait till we can do
Yeah,
this
yeah,
live.
yeah.
But I want to thank you so much. I also want to end it with something I always ask artists. Short and sweet. What's your advice for first time tattoo?
For like people getting their first tattoo,
Mm-hmm.
man, just do your research. Don't like think about it like you buying jewelry
Mm-hmm.
for like somebody you really care about.
Yeah.
Like where you're like, look, I
It's
know I
serious.
got I you're like,
Serious.
look, I know I got a budget, but like I'm gonna top at my budget because this is important.
Love it.
Just think
Love
about it
it.
like that.
Yeah.
And just
We gonna stop it there
just
because
do
I
your
got to cut
research.
it off. But yeah, that's great. That's a great way to end.